1. This happened 11 years ago, but I still remember it and feel as if it happened last week. I am using real names here as my in-laws know this woman and I have told the story before. They have known this woman longer than I have known what she was like, so they will not be surprised or offended. The following story is the first meeting we've ever had. Important background info. I am deaf, hard of hearing, and just had my first kid who was less than a year old. I had trouble hearing her cries, so I was glued to the baby monitor day and night. Our home arrangement at the time was this. Main bedroom, living room, office was in a converted garage. The garage door was changed to a large picture window with lace curtains and drapes. During the day, we would open the drapes to let the light in. The front door to the house was right next to the window, and guests would peer in the window. We had a doorbell, but it broke, but with hearing aids I can hear a knock or see people walk up the driveway before they reach the door. Our home is like a townhouse, added onto the side of an already built small single-story home, which was occupied by my grandmother-in-law, Nora. I married into a multi-generational Italian-Australian family. Nora was very active in the Italian community here, so she went out a lot and had people drop by all the time to visit her. My in-laws knew these people. I didn't really. A lot of the time if Nora wasn't home, her potential visitors would knock on our door and ask where she was. All the time. We were annoyed with it. We had no idea where she is or was. We were not her keeper. Additionally, on our side of the house, my husband's parents lived with us. Like I said, multi-generational. My father-in-law and mother-in-law are wonderful. This story. I was alone with my daughter and took the opportunity to get a quick shower while she napped. She was asleep in a baby carrier on the bed, so I could see her from the ensuite shower, and the monitor was in view too. I was ducking my head out of the curtain every few moments to check. No problems. When my shower was done, I wrapped myself in a towel and walked into the bedroom from the ensuite. I shrieked. There was a strange woman in her 80s in my house and in my bedroom. I was shocked, to say the least. Who are you? Lucille, your door was unlocked and I'm looking for Nora. Do you know where she is? No, get out! I said as I grasped the towel tighter around myself. It was a bit loose when I entered my bedroom before spotting her. Lucille notices me adjusting the towel. It's okay, it's nothing I haven't seen before. I'm fuming. Get out! She left and I was shaking. My daughter didn't wake during this. Lucille's voice was loud enough for me to hear her speak without my hearing aids in. I have trouble with my voice volume with them out. I must have been loud too. She left right away. I repeated the story to a few in-laws a while later, and they knew who she was. They said that she was known to the family as not being too bright. Since then, I have been hyper-vigilant about locking that door, even though the house arrangement has changed since then, and Nora died about 4 years ago. 2. So this was basically one of these incidents that could have been avoided by not taking my dog to the city center. Basically, my family and I bought a beautiful, flat, loving coated retriever back in 2021. He's trained by me, I'm not the alpha, and my dad. Very well. We actually care about raising our dog to a great standard of obedience, which can be difficult with this particular breed, as it's considered an exuberant and confident breed. To mention that this is not our first dog, so we kinda know what we do, and we keep in contact with dog trainers to progress and adapt to new behavior. This dog, his name is Frodo, is very friendly and has a particular close bond with me, my girlfriend, and my father. This means he gets sad as soon as one mentioned leaves, but doesn't stay in this mindset for long, as others are around. There is at least one person at home pretty much always. Last month, my girlfriend and I went to the city center to buy wrapping paper and other things. Just a small tour, nothing big, because I didn't want to stress out my puppy, as it was this time of year where a lot of people were going out shopping, and the city center was crowded. It was raining. I waited for my girlfriend in front of a shop while she got some stuff with my dog on sit command. He behaved great, and is always on a leash with a harness or collar, and gave him a treat. At some point, he got a bit irritated and started squeaking a bit as my girlfriend didn't come back. Enter Karen. I look at my phone, distracted once, and this woman in her late 60s or early 70s approaches me.
Why are you letting your dog sit in the puddle in the rain? Isn't he cold?
Don't worry, ma'am, he won't be cold, he's fine. I look back at my phone, and Frodo lays down on his own in the puddle and misses my girlfriend.
Look at me when I talk to you. You young people don't know shit about how to behave, nor do you have experience and guts.
I don't remember exactly what she said.
To actually train animals. This is disgusting. Don't you hear him squeak?
She comes closer, tries to grab my phone and attention, as I clearly did not want to discuss with her how to take care of my dog. I dodge her hands, she tries to go for the leash. I dodge her hands again, but that time there's like 2 million people staring at us. I didn't say a word, and I was irritated by that. This never ever happened to me before. I look at her, focus, and tell her, "Do you even know what breed that is?" It would be an agony if I got him out of the water. Please step away from me. I was as polite as much as I could be, but that sarcasm needed to be, as he enjoyed both puddles, lakes, oceans, and the warmth of a lit fireplace. She steps away, grabs her phone, calls the police on me. Comes toward me and my dog. By that time, my girlfriend came out of the store not realizing what was going on and smiling at me, saying something like, "Let's go, I need to grab something else." My dog lays happy in the puddle and waves his tail as he stands up to greet my girlfriend. My girlfriend looks at me and Karen and asks, "Is there a problem, ma'am?"
Are you serious? This is outrageous. In broad daylight, this guy, clearly an animal abuser, has a dog on a short leash and forces him in front of everybody to lay down in this dirty, muddy water.
She then turns around to address the mass of people.
Help me! Someone help this poor dog!
After minutes of this tirade, the police arrived and questioned the lady and then me. I explained what had happened. The policeman asks me if I want to press charges against her as she actually tried to touch me. I tell him no. The policeman turns around and lectures her about her behavior in public and how not to waste the police's time. If you hear this because your children and grandchildren introduce you to Reddit, I want to say fuck you for calling me an animal abuser. I love my dog. I wish you great healing from the knee-hip joint pain you must have from carrying so much negativity. 3. In 2019, I bought a condo. I had not been moved in more than 10 days when I got a knock on the door. I live in a building that only has apartments on the second floor, 4, and a communal area below us. I like the location because I don't have to worry about being loud to the people beneath me. While this Karen knocks on the door and I open it.
Hi, I'm Karen, and we share a wall.
Hi, okay, can I help you?
I've done the pricing on having my outlet sealed. You need to pay half because I can smell the food you're cooking since you moved in, and I do not like it.
Excuse me, what?
I do not like the smells coming from your house. It makes me nauseous.
What smells are causing you to feel sick?
The cabbage and onion smells, and your cooked fish. It is unbearable.
Maybe you should hustle down to Bed Bath & Beyond and buy one of those fancy expensive scented candles.
No, I need you to pay me half for having my outlet sealed.
No, I will cook what I want to cook in my apartment that I bought. There is nothing in the CC and Rs that says I need to avoid cooking fish or cabbage. Also, onions are a primary ingredient in a lot of world cuisine. I will continue to use all of these ingredients.
Well, I paid for my apartment as well, so I don't want to be subject to your nasty smells.
Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to close the door. If you want to improve your home by sealing outlets that will not stop the smell, you are certainly within your right as a homeowner to do that. However, you will do it at your own expense. Moving forward, there is no reason for you to interact with me unless there is a legitimate issue with the wall or pipes that we share.
Well, that is just rude.
I am unconcerned with how you feel about me or the food I cook. There is no reason for you to ever talk to me again unless it has to do with our shared wall and pipes. Goodbye. I shut the door and went back to my business. A couple of days later, the HOA leader knocked on my door and asked me about the issue. I told her that I was not entertaining any of this bullshit. The two could call the police and send them out to arrest me over the cabbage, onions, and fish. The HOA leader laughed out loud and told me that she just wanted to be sure things were calm and that there was no issue moving forward. I told her that we would be cool if Karen minded her damn business and didn't concern herself with my dietary decisions. I've been here 3 years now, and I see Karen regularly. We do not interact unless necessary. We had a pipe burst during the 2021 winter storm, and we had to get together and threaten to sue the HOA when they said they would not fix the pipes. They own them and are responsible for them. There was no problem. Afterward, we went back to peacefully coexisting without having to be friends or interact with each other. I still cook cabbage, fish, and onions. 4. 20 years ago, I had a side business making wedding movies. Not your average wedding video, but a full 2-hour documentary movie of the wedding day. I was good at this and made some good coin doing it. One wedding stood out. As usual, I shot an interview with the future bride and groom days before the wedding, in separate locations. On the day of the wedding, I was with the bride and her party, shooting as they were getting ready. Around 2 p.m., I arrived at the church to get some interior and exterior B-roll shots, waiting for the wedding guests to arrive starting around 2:30. While in the Presbyterian church, the wife of the officiant confronted me. Her name, believe it or not, was Karen. Now, the minister, her husband, was also the town drunk. A small, wiry man. He had a red Rudolph nose the size of a small eggplant, and about the same color. The wife, Karen, super skinny with steel wool texture hair, the alcoholic puffy bags under her eyes, and the foul stench of a chain smoker who does not bathe. Karen asks me what I was doing in their church. I'm just getting extra shots for the wedding movie. Where will the groom and his party be when they arrive? I'll need to wire him with a microphone.
He will do no such thing.
Excuse me, why not? It's a wireless microphone, attached behind him on his belt, hidden beneath the boutonniere on his belt.
Absolutely not. I forbid you to do this. No microphone allowed during the ceremony.
Why? No one will see it. It's the size of a deck of playing cards and hidden. Why do you even care?
No! This is my church, and you either do as you're told, or you leave my church.
Okay, lady, you do your thing, I'll do mine. Okay? Stay out of my business. This is my job. The groom wears the hidden wireless microphone so that I can clearly capture the wedding vows, as I would be about 20 feet away with my camera. I continue to get the interior shots of the church. I'm a professional with absolute respect for any church and the rules. Once the ceremony starts, I remain static, unobtrusive, out of the way, almost hidden. I clear things with each officiant beforehand, block my shots ahead of time, and never get in anyone's way. About 2 minutes later, the drunkard husband comes lunging at me. The alcohol so strong in his breath, I thought the candles would cause him to explode.
Get the hell out of my church now! You were disrespectful towards my wife, and I want you out! Now!
I shrugged and replied, sure, no problem, except when the bride arrives and sees there is no cameraman, you will have to explain why, as she will also be out the non-refundable $2,500 she paid for her wedding movie. The contract the couple signed clearly stipulated that in event of such a disruption, I would walk away, no refunds, just in case. Contingency and insurance, as no man of the cloth dares to face the wrath of a queen for the day bridezilla. Now it's 2:45. I'm outside getting the video of the guests arriving. The groom and his party arrive in a stretch limo. The groom comes up to me, shakes my hand, asks me how everything is going. I explain the confrontation I had with the Karen, and the subsequent yelling by the drunk minister. The groom was a 200-pound, 6'2" construction worker, as were the men in his wedding party. The minister was a 130-pound, 5'6" milquetoast. The groom says,
"Wait right here."
He walks into the church with his groomsmen and returns 3 minutes later, a grin on his face.
"I'm ready for the microphone."
I wire him up, bride arrives, wedding proceeds. At the end of the service, the minister, drunk and slurring his words, forgets the critical,
"You may now kiss"
part. We had to do a quick retake after the receiving line was over. Karen was glaring at me throughout the after-service, mingling, and the dinner they were invited to. She wore a lime green polyester pantsuit she probably had since 1973. She got drunk at the dance along with her husband, and continued to mutter things at me every time she walked past me as I was shooting the dances and other events. Clever editing removed her colorful words. Like I said, this was 20 years ago, both are dead now. Not the wedding couple, the drunkard and polyester Karen. It makes me wonder why and how people who push religion and sermons onto others as a career can have such a dark side to them. Karen was a Karen, and her minister husband hid behind her polyester pants. 5. I used to work as a host and busser at a hibachi place in my town. One day this group of 6 or 7 ladies come in, and before I can say anything, "I have a reservation for Karen." I'm pretty sure that was actually her name. After checking her reservation, I noticed they're 30 minutes early. I said okay, and that we're currently cleaning off a table for her and her friends. Karen is absolutely flabbergasted. She's astonished that we don't have a table ready for her immediately. I explained that she is a bit early and that it is no big deal, and we'll get them seated as soon as we can. She goes off about how it shouldn't matter that they come early, and that we should have reserved a table specifically for her, even if they showed up 2 hours early. Obviously, we can't reserve a table all day for a reservation at, I think, 7:30. We only have 12 grilled tables, and we're a busy restaurant. Finally, I get them seated and tell them that their waiter would be over momentarily. As I'm walking back to the front desk, she snaps her fingers at me and I turn around. She's following me back. It's at this point, I don't want to fight, I just want to have her leave me alone, so I ask her what I can do for her. She then says they need drinks and starts listing all these drinks that I don't know. I'm only 16 at the time, but I'm pretty tall for my age, so I get asked for drinks a lot. I explain that I'm only 16 and that a waiter would be with them soon. Apparently, she doesn't care, and then gets mad saying that it's my job to serve the customers and that she's basically my boss. Okay, I'm at the end of my rope here, but it's not worth an argument, and I don't want to give her attention like that because she's a POS and not worth my time. Fast forward to the end of their meal. They are the only ones left because they took so long to eat. Their reservation was at 7:30ish, and they were there until we were supposed to close at 10. It's a weekday, we're open later on weekends. At this point, we've been so patient with them, and even stayed open a little past closing for them, like 15 minutes, but still. The Karen in charge stomps up to my desk, and I ignore her attempt to get my attention with snapping her fingers. She is outraged that we have a gratuity of 20% for large groups. I explain that it is mandatory for large groups of 6 or more. Pretty standard, I think. She says that she should be exempt because she should have been warned about it on the menu. This was during COVID, so we had digital menus accessed via QR codes. I pull it up on my phone and show it at the top right of the first page in all caps and bolded. She is furious and has some choice words for me. But this Karen is smart. She has a solution. We'll just scratch it out on the receipt. I inform her that it is our policy and that the tip will still be applied. I apologize for the inconvenience, or rather, her lack of competence. On her way out, they were all glaring at me, and the boss Karen informed me that they would never be returning. After ignoring her, I went to clean the table, and oh my gosh, all the receipts had the gratuities scribbled out and had been torn to pieces. I assembled 6 or so pieces, and the back read, "Terrible service, never coming back. Fuck you." Never saw them again, luckily. Anyways, thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Idiots in the Wild, episode 97. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Please do hit the like button before you leave, and if you wouldn't mind, share the video around with friends and family. Okay, I think we actually have a little birthday shout-out to do today. Today's birthday shout-out goes to Joan. Hope you have a great day today, Joan. Please do make sure that, well, I know January can be a bit of a meh month, but please make sure you are taking time to care for yourself and do something nice for yourself. and make sure you relax for the rest of the month. And before I go, I'd like to sing happy birthday if I could. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joan. Happy birthday to you. Alrighty, and now we'll move right along to Hellfreezer's question of the day. And today's question is, what is something you used to love when you were younger, not necessarily a kid, just younger, that nobody seems to talk about now? And I'm going to say Northern Exposure. It was, and kind of still is actually, one of my favorite television shows. And it was about a doctor who goes to a place called Sicily, Alaska, essentially to work off his tuition. And he hates it there, complains the whole time. It was actually a very enjoyable show. I'd like to see some of yours, so if you could pop your answers in a comment below, I look forward to reading them. And with that, I'm going to head off for now. So until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.